Hey guys, it's Chin from the Pendit, and today I'm in Nelson Biolabs, and I'll be going over the Kaco SKY fountain pen. It's a cartridge converter that takes standard long international cartridges, or short ones, as well as converters. It has a Schmidt nib, but it's not the greatest. It's very soft, and you can see that in the writing sample. It can be converted to an eyedropper if you be very, very careful, and you add an O-ring. I say that because of the threads. There are two sections that are kind of cut off. That's why you can't do it properly unless you actually have an O-ring and some silicone grease. I'm gonna go from the top to bottom, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then we're gonna do a writing sample. Okay? The whole thing is clear. You can see inside the cap there's this inner cap right there. And that serves to protect the nib, keep it wet, keep it writing wet as long as possible. The top of the cap, it's pretty flat where you can see the injection molding. Then there's an inner cap. The cap doesn't come off. There's no disassembly for the cap at least. It does have a rather simple clip, but it's rather flimsy. I feel it's gonna break. This is the maximum I'm willing to put it through, because I feel it's just going to break. It's very soft, it's springy, it's very springy. Luckily the pen is light, so when you do clip it on something, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. It's flimsy enough that you might want to be a little careful about it. Okay, right off the cap there's a small step down towards the barrel. Again, it's a complete demonstrator pen. This one is yellow. You can get them in the demonstrator or non-demonstrator versions. If I'm not wrong, the non-demonstrator versions have a black nib, which is pretty cool, but I would still prefer a demonstrator so I can see the level of ink I have left. It has a clear barrel. It has pretty medium-sized threads. They aren't as big as the ones found in the Pilot Petite, but they aren't as small as the ones found in the Otto Rook as well. You can see them clearly through the section because obviously it's a yellow demonstrator. The barrel tapers down slightly to the end, not by much. It's very imperceptible, but once you have the cap on, you can see it taper down slightly. It has an F at the end, which might mean it has a fine nib. This one is a fine nib, but I can't be completely sure. Someone else will have to look at the extra fine nib and confirm that for me. But this one does have a fine nib. Let's go to the section. Between the section and the barrel, there is absolutely no step down. You can barely feel the difference. The only reason you can is because the barrel, though plastic, is slightly textured. It has like a raw aluminium kind of feel, but without any of the weight. It is slightly triagonal. It reminds me of the TWSBI Eco T, but it doesn't have any sharp corners like the Eco T does at the end. It's not as sharp as the Lamy Safari either. The Lamy Safari is distinctive. Safari, All-Star Vista are distinctive in having only two indents. This is completely triagonal from the front. It houses a relatively soft number 5 nib. It's a standard Schmidt nib. For all I can tell, I only have another one. I only have one other in medium. It has the Kaco SKY logo right below the breather hole. It's a very soft and flat nib, and you can see by this picture of the section in the nib. The section is a standard Schmidt section that comes with number 6s as well as number 5s. It's essentially the same design. Nothing to go over there. The section is completely clear, but it's slightly fuzzed out because of the textured pattern on the plastic. You can see the top of the cartridge converter that you have on. The only complaint I have about the section in particular is you can see some ink inside it, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get that out unless I take the whole pen apart, and even then it's only a maybe. It's a pretty good pen for like about 20 bucks. It's a good throw around pen. You can throw it in your bag. it's not a break in the bag, but if you drop it a few times on solid wood or concrete, it might crack, and there might be some ink in the inner cap. Other than that, this pen is not going anywhere. Alright guys, this is the Kaco SKY in a fine nib. This is the Shaeffer Skrip Blue Black. This is what the ink looks like. And here it is against Monteverde Blue Black and Lamy Blue Black. The ink leans slightly towards the greener side, but it's a pretty nice ink. It performs well on cheap paper. It doesn't give me any trouble unless I'm using really crappy paper and a really fine nib. It shades well enough for daily use. And the best part about it is it's super safe. I would rank it as the number 1 or number 2 safest, if at all it ties with Waterman Serenity Blue, which I will go over pretty soon. Okay? So that's Shaeffer Skrip Blue Black. Okay, let's continue with the writing sample. It's a pretty nice nib. It's slightly on the drier side, but I don't mind that much. It has nice line variation. Like, I'm going to show this to you. You can see that it's more than the line variation that my Lamy 2000 gives, that my Custom 74 gives. It's pretty. I wouldn't want to overwhelm it with that amount of line variation or that amount of pressure, but it gets the job done when I need to get it done. For anyone who likes this, the amount of give it gives, or the amount of flex you get from it from daily writing, and you want a solid daily writer, this seems like a pretty good bet for you. It's pretty cheap. It's about 20 bucks. Again, links of everything that I have are in the video description. This is the Wexford Journal, which I got from Walmart. Now, let me just try this down for you. Paper, Wexford. Again, it seems like 80 GSM. It's pretty decent paper for fountain pens. There's no bleed through, except when I stretched it out, like right there. You might be able to see some bleed through at the end. Again, not by much. Like, that's where it bled through. Everywhere else is pretty fine. It's a pretty fine nib, and I don't like fine nibs, just because I like use my ink up as much as possible. But other than that, it's a pretty good pen. You might be able to switch the nib out with other Schmidt nibs, but I haven't tried on this particular pen yet. All in all, solid writer. Alright, thanks guys, that's it from me this time. Hope you liked my review of the Kaco SKY. I know I've been saying it Kaco, but I generally do not know how to pronounce it. Chris Prapp has a video on it, but I don't know if he's right or wrong, because the only place I've actually read it or heard of it is through eBay, and I really want to try it out because it had a Schmidt nib. Slightly underwhelming for what it is, but again, if you like really soft steel nibs, this is the way to go. Alright, thanks again, and take care and stay safe.